guys, how's it going? Greetings again from the garden. Look what I brought today. It's my resonator. It just needs new strings. I need to get it back in shape. Yes, guys, so I want to share some things here with you. I had some lovely conversations again with some folks this morning. If you have noticed, then I'm pretty open and pretty reachable for anyone in this group that wants help with the guitar playing. I make it one of my priorities to talk to as many people in person as possible, because I think that can be an absolute game changer for people. And you know, so if you're someone that I've been talking to, then you know that there's a TTT Academy. That's our official guitar academy, where I mentor people personally, one-on-one, on a weekly basis. We talk about stuff. We meet on Zoom meetings, and you know, there's a bunch of stuff. I don't want to go into detail too much. But you know, when I talk with people from this group here, what it really comes down to, just want to share this with you, is to really get clarity of what do you really want in your life? What is it really that's important to you? And this can turn into a philosophical question, but let's just talk about in terms of guitar, right? So what does guitar mean for you? Is guitar just another hobby for you? And you pick up a guitar once in a while and it just relaxes you, you know, but then you're fine with not playing guitar for a few weeks or maybe a couple of months? Or would you say that guitar is something that defines who you are? Would your life not be the same without having a guitar in your life? Think about that for a second. Because for me, you know, if you remove guitar from my life, it's unthinkable. If you know me a little bit, it's probably clear. But you know, you don't have to be a professional musician or artist for that. If I think of my students, there's hardly a student that wouldn't say that guitar is a part of who they are and it defines them in some way. Yeah, you know, I think it's very important for you to realize that. And then the next part to think about is like, okay, if guitar is really what defines me, am I fine with being mediocre? Or, you know, why is it that I'm not progressing? And again, I'm just making assumptions here. You know, if you're playing at the level that you enjoy playing and you can express yourself freely and you're playing fearlessly, then I'm not talking to you by any means. You know, I'm not trying to convince anyone, but I see people that need help. And, you know, people in this group, they come to this group because they want to break out of their boxes. They want to play with more freedom. You know, their head is full of theory and thinking too much, and they just want to figure out how they can play without having to think that much. If that is you, then please listen up. I think it's important to realize how important this is to you, and then also why it is that you're not progressing, why you're staying in this plateau level. And if the main reason is because you haven't taken the appropriate action, then this gives a lot of power back to you, doesn't it? It's like basically, okay, yeah, I could do this, and now there's an opportunity to do it. Because that's exactly what I'm trying to show you and get the clarity, that these things are very possible to be broken down to and worked on piece by piece, like a puzzle, and work on the complexity of the guitar, because the guitar, it's not an easy instrument to understand. You know, even if I just start like on the E string, see, this little auto tune. See how many E's I have here, So can you find that on the fly? Can you find it with all 12 pitches on the fly? that's just one example of a foundation that, you know, for most players is like a dreadful thing to think about where the notes are on the fretboard. Yeah? And that's kind of unique to guitar, because like a piano player doesn't have that. Yeah? Probably a flute player doesn't have that. But on guitar, there's certain parts that make this instrument very complex. Now you can go at this for years by yourself, and now we have YouTube, we have all these guitar courses and tutorials, you know. There's so much information out there, so it's definitely not a lack of information. You can do this and say, yeah, if I just had more time, I could cipher all these things. But why are you not doing it? Because the day only has 24 hours, and there's other priorities as well for most people. So instead of just putting it on the back burner, why don't you make a decision and say like, oh yeah, you know what? I'm gonna look into this. I want to see if I can take 30 or 40 minutes a day and start cracking all those little topics and really get them under my fingers and really make a lot of progress in the next year. What would that sound like? Or do you think it's impossible? Because I'm telling you it's not impossible. It all starts with that first decision and this first commitment to just say like, okay, you know what? Guitar is an important thing for me. I haven't given it the proper attention, except for buying guitars and gear that, you know, my gear is like 5 times better than I am. Let's put some attention on my actual skills. How does that sound for you? All right, so, you know, if that sounds inspiring to you, then we should probably have a conversation sooner or later, and rather sooner than later. Because that's exactly what I'm here for, to help people in that situation to get the absolute clarity of what needs to be done, depending on where you are, and then figure out how we can implement that. And that's what TTT Academy was designed for, and that's why I'm offering those no-cost consultations for people that are really serious about growing the skills and that are serious about looking into this guitar thing. Wouldn't it be wonderful to just play with freedom? Don't have to think about anything and just, you know, hit any chord. Just play chord progressions like that. Yeah? That's not just something that I just know because I'm so talented or so, or I've practiced so much. There's a bunch of misbelief there. You should ask some of my students or watch some of those student success stories that I keep posting here, and you will find out that it doesn't take as much work. Yeah? It does take work, of course. Yeah? Of course it's gonna take work. But I would say like with 40 minutes to an hour a day, with consistency and clear guidance and just, you know, getting your head straight. That's the part that a lot of people are missing. If we can get that clarity for you, you'll see so much progress in just a few months. All right, so I hope these open words can inspire you, and I hope that you can also see that my primary interest is to help you. That's my primary interest. My secondary interest, of course, is I have a business, I have a guitar academy, and I'm looking for new students, you know, want to have my business successful. But my primary reason is to help you. And I think if you look at our students, you see just so many examples of people that completely transformed their skill level in a much shorter time than they could ever have done it by themselves. And yeah, so let me conclude this whole video here. It was a little long. It's one of my longest videos. Let me conclude this with the invitation to you. If you want to look into this, let's have a chat. I'll leave the garden and go into my studio and have a chat with you. If that is you, if you want to do that, then just post clarity below. And I don't have any expectations of you joining our academy or anything. I just want you to be serious about your guitar progress. That's my only criteria. And that you show up to the call. Those are my only 2 criteria. And yeah, let's just investigate. Are you in? Awesome. So, clarity, #clarity, and I'll be reaching out. Usually it's one of my team members can also talk to you, but right now I'm actually by myself. The whole team is on vacation, so use the opportunity. If you want to talk to me in person, put clarity below and we'll have a chat. All right? All right. Have a beautiful day. Keep rocking.